Hey, here we are with another 8-4 for Gate Crash draft. My name is Ryan for ManaBluff. What do we have in the pack? I do like Mind Grind as a rare. I'm not really all about going into the mill plan, though this does win you games. Simic is super popular right now. I happen to be a huge fan of Simic, and there's just tons of Simic great cards here. Plus, a solid 2-drop with Boros, even though we're passing the Boros charm. You see Boros and Simic all around. It's kind of like, what do I feel like doing? Yeah, I think right now the picks between the Drakeling Crassus and the Wojak Halberdiers about what guild do I want to go into. I do prefer Simic, but since it tends to be overdrafted at the moment, I'm sort of leaning towards the Halberdiers, which I think is a safer bet just because I'm pretty sure people are going to be fighting over those colors a lot more than people are going to be fighting over the Boros. So we'll start here and see if that stays open for us. Gifts for Zova, pretty good. Ooh, the Slaughterhorn is going to be a gift to whoever I'm passing it to. So I can kind of go Gifts or Assault Griffin. Both I think are somewhat good. I wouldn't say they're mediocre, but I don't think you care about as much Assault Griffin. I used to really like it. There's even an argument to just take a 2-drop over it. I'm going to go with Gifts because it tends to have a pretty big upside. It's a finisher in the Boros deck. And it can get super powerful. You just got to be really careful when you play it so that you're playing around removal. And then I think these you can kind of fill in the curve later. Although, I did kind of want to try an experiment. See if I just take every 2-drop imaginable. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that for fun. I'm gonna go ahead and do Boros. And so the next time I do Boros, I'm just gonna pick 2-drops over anything else, which we all know is super important. But I wonder if that will matter. If that'll actually be a winning strategy. So we're gonna start there. Ooh, but then right away, Gore Clan Rampager being passed. So I'm gonna snatch that guy up. To me, that's a pretty big signal for Gruul. And there's really nothing else that I'm skipping in Boros right now, so happy to grab that and trade it out from the Warjack Halberdiers. Yeah, so we'll start there. Also, let me adjust my volume so you don't hear any annoying sounds as we move through this. So let's pick up the Gore Clan. This definitely works in the Gruul build. Yeah, Urban Evolution, very powerful card, but I think it's really hard to play in a lot of decks. I do think Ivan Linesen is the best card here, so I'm kind of happy to jump into it. Snapjaw or Bomber Core. Oh no, the Swine, sweet. We'll probably be able to pick one of these up, though I don't think Gruul needs as many of these. Of course, it's awesome in Simic. This 2-drop, I mean, we're totally abandoning my 2-drop plan because just Gruul seems to be flowing. I do want to be careful of my low drops, but this is just an awesome card in Gruul, and yeah. Looks like that's the game plan right now. I'm not excited for Massive Raid or Burst of Strength, to be honest. I almost would rather pick the Guildgate just to be able to splash Boros if I need to, but I'll stick to the conservative pick, Massive Raid. Not amazing, but if we end up being light removal, I mean, I do want to have more creatures than not in Gruul with a lot of these Blood Rush tricks. So I'll grab it. It's a little early to pick up the Guildgate over anything else, so I'll just hang on to it for now. Cool, I'm happy to pick up Madcap skills here. Noticing these two guys going a little bit late, in my opinion. Definitely Cartel Aristocrat. And Sages Denizen, I think people totally undervalue it as just a mill card, but just the 2-3 for 3, that's just super solid in this format. I'm stoked to have Madcap skills, though, because that will do a lot of fun things for us. Oh, wow. Simic Flux Mage. I'm just going to hate this card because this is awesome in Simic, which is just being played around. And since it is going this late, I guess it isn't being overdrafted. I've never done the Verdant Haven deck. Could be fun. But since I'm not trying to do the Verdant Haven deck right now, I'd rather just cut the really powerful card. Also noticing the Metropolis Bright here, which is super serviceable in a number of decks. Wow, so Happy to grab the Scan Club Charger here. Surprised that these guys have come back. Maybe I do want Miming Slime. Miming Slime, uh, especially in my deck, if I stick to Gruul, will probably easily be a 3-3, if not larger, with some of our bigger dudes. Yeah, I'm going to take Miming Slime. I do like Scan Clamp Charger. I think it's really important in the deck with Blood Rush, but we'll maybe pick up one or two of them, so I'll just go ahead and take the uncommon, which I won't see as much of. I think I'll cut the Gutter Skull, because even though Smog Elemental is a little bit more powerful, it being overcosted, I think if we're getting in the 6 range, we're going to have in Gruul some pretty strong pieces to combat this, even though flying can be an issue for us. But let's cut the 2-drop. Ooh, so do I take a Ruination Worm, which I'm not looking to play a bunch of, but you know it's super serviceable, or Armored Transport? Since I already have a Madcap skills, I will just take Armored Transport. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to pick up a Ruination Worm at some point, although you probably pick up Armored Transport also. I would just rather cut this from someone else's, like say Boros deck or something. Yeah, just cutting some more cards since we're not playing any of these. Cut green for signaling, though I don't know if anyone really pays attention to that these days. Not a stellar start to the draft, though I think the signals were read pretty clearly about getting some of these passed later. Ooh, Merciless Eviction. That's a cool card. Yeah, if I didn't have a Miming Slime already, I might pick it, but Croconura is just going to be awesome in our deck. We want that 3-drop. It'll easily be a 2-4, and that'll help us against those flyers we see coming. Although, yeah, the best cards are in these Orzhov colors, which would be great. Curious to see if this wheel, since it wheeled out the other pack, though the other pack was a little bit deeper in that color, so probably not. Happy to take Croconura. We'll probably see the Millennium Gargoyle come back, which we're not excited to play, but let's just take our happy 3 here. Ooh, Elusive Crassus. Ooh, Pit Fight is exactly what we want for Gruul. Would happy if one of these two came back. This won't. This doubtfully will. I'm probably just going to get the Naturalize later on, but for now, Pit Fight is awesome. Elusive Crassus. So, person next to us isn't Simic, which doesn't bode well, because I was really hoping they'd move into Simic when I passed that, but we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, wow. With this guy being passed, I mean, the pick here is just Warmind Infantry, serviceable 3-drop, not awesome, but I do like it over the Gruul Charm, which I have found pretty underwhelming, actually. I'd pick it up later on, but I still want to prioritize having the creatures. A little worried about the Drake Ring Crisis also being passed, because I thought for sure Simic was going to be what I was putting people into with my past pack, but who knows who opened what. Yeah, I'll happily just take another 2-3 for 3. There's that Ruination Worm, probably will come back. Smite is awesome. I'll take the Ivy Lane Denizen again. So we're rounding out with very playable cards, but nothing overpowered. The only thing we have really happening on the positive end is having the Pit Fight and the Gore Clan Rampager, although the Zertos one's pretty good too. I really want to try seeing if we get some of those more specific Gruul powerhouse cards coming. And these are not them. Spire Tracer, I started to have mixed feelings on. I was very much against it, and that's where I'm leaning towards a lot. But I have seen Spire Tracer, if you have a deck with a couple of Madcap skills, matter. But I'm just going to stick to this 5-drop. Might even take the Boros Gilgate again for possible splash reasons. But there's no need to at this point, so I'll just take the 5-drop, which is power, and then I really want to get more of those 2-drops, the First Striker, or the one that you can play 2-drops on one turn because it adds the mana. I forget the names of the cards, sorry. But that's what I'm on the lookout for right now, because the rest of our curve is filling up really quickly. This is what I was talking about, Burning Tree Emissary. That's exactly what I want right now. Super late Kingpin's Pet and white of Precinct 6, which makes you really wonder who is drafting what. Maybe Gruul's back to being overdrafted. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to cut it. This is awesome for our deck. I'll take Burst of Strength. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of black open, and Dimir tends to be open, so that's fine with these guys. Wouldn't mind a foil Naturalize, but we'll have this in the sideboard at some point. This is, you know, just barely playable, and if we are a little short on playables, then rather have this than Naturalize. Okay, so what do I want to cut here? I could just rare draft, even though I don't think this is worth anything. Yeah, I'm much more interested in getting rid of one of these spells. And because of that, I think we'll just cut the lower drop. Even though Leyline Phantom can end up doing more damage later, and I think is a better card than Sage's Road Denizen. Just this is a more consistent card. Death's Approach is an arguable cut also, just as a removal spell. But, yep, that's what I thought the Millennium Gargoyle would table. I could pick up Forest Adaptation here, even though it is a bad card. It comes out of the sideboard at times against you know, another type Simic deck that doesn't have a lot of removal or anything. And I'm probably not playing Millennium Gargoyle because my 4-drop slot is a little bit better here. But I can get Forest Adaptation a lot easier than Millennium Gargoyle, so we'll just grab this and know that I'm not excited for it. In here, get rid of Dutiful Thrall. I think that's going to do more in opposing decks than anything else there. Now we will take the Spire Tracer, even though I would actually happily cut one of these guys, even splash possibly Gridlock. But this guy could make our main deck if it's going the way I think it's going, where Gruul's now pretty dried up. I'm happy if anyone plays any of these cards, so I'll play Scatter Arc because I don't play around it ever, and I would hate to be blown out by that. So kind of bummed. Looks like someone else, you know, kind of started Gruul and decided to stick to Gruul next to me. Hopefully I'm rewarded in this pack for some Gruul. Like another Croconura, that's awesome. Don't really want another massive raid. Did I pick up? Yeah, I do have a master. I thought I did. Croconura is awesome. I do want 2-drops, but the Skimbrand Goblin is not the kind of 2-drop I'm excited about, especially passing up the Croconura. So I'm happy to grab that. And then, yeah, I want to see a little more Pit Fight. Would love a Ground Assault somewhere. Oh, don't we all? We all want Ground Assaults. That's not them at all. Wow, nothing in Gruul, so we'll just take up a 2-drop. It's a really lame 2-drop in Gruul, but, you know, I'm definitely not splashing into any of these. And, again, the Ruination Worm is much less important in this format. Even though it's a solid 6-drop, it's just wanting to have enough pressure early on to stay alive into more of these. Don't need a Spire Tracer. Yep, 2-drops. They're important. Whoa! Hey, gang. Look at all this. Taking Stomping Ground, if you've watched my videos, you know I don't pass those up, even though Ground Assault is amazing. But we play the value game with these dual lands. So Stomping Ground happens to be one of the better ones in terms of value. Love Ground Assault, or, you know, if any of these came by, I would really like it. But, oh god, this pack, I would just be happy if I took the rest of this pack and that was my deck. But we'll take Stomping Grounds and hate ourselves later. Yeah, Viper. Nothing else, really. So that's fine. How are my 3s? I have a couple of 3-drops. I think this is where I pick up another 2. If it was the Bomber Core, I would definitely pick up One-Man Infantry. Don't get me wrong, One-Man Infantry is definitely better than Skinbrand Goblin. But even though Boros was the deck I want to try the pick 2-drops of everything, I still think Skimbrand Goblin is a better option as a 2-drop in Gruul because it has the Blood Rush ability. So this could easily start becoming a trick as well. And I want to prioritize the 2s a little bit more than the 3s. So yeah, I'm a little questionable on this pick. If you have feedback, let me know what you think about this. Because I'm not too sure if that was right. It might have been better just to have another solid 3-drop. So this could be a Ground Assault. Just a note. Alright, let's start getting rid of things I really don't want to be playing. I actually don't mind the Gruul Key Rune in a basic rule deck, especially because we're not picking anything else here. It does help ramp up, even though we're not really ramping into anything. But even then, I found just a 3/2 Trampler, can really help you close out some games. I'm not interested in playing another Burst of Strength. We're not going to be splashing anything powerful at this point, so I will grab that guy right now. Yeah, I would love to get rid of these 2 artifacts, but they might be necessities. I don't have a lot of removal because I passed up, another massive raid and the premium ground assault. But I think just loading up on the 2-drop and playing the aggressive Gruul deck will work here. I just don't see massive raid being awesome that frequently. And this is a serviceable 2-drop, so. What do I want to cut? I haven't seen Shielded Passage used a lot frequently. I still think it's a really good card if you're in white for blowouts and stuff. And yeah, so I will take it because I think it's the only card in here that I'm a little bit worried about. I was thinking about taking the Simic Key Rune just for shizzle, but there's no point. I'll get rid of the Shielded Passage. Alright, cool. So Massive Raid and Adaptive Snapjaw came back. I think I will take the Massive Raid here. I don't think I want another Adaptive Snapjaw. Since I am lighter removal, I think I'm just going to have to run 2 Massive Raids. Not going to be great, but with 16 creatures, and I'm going to be wanting to overplay creatures with all my really cheap Blood Rush guys, that could get there. Yep, we're going to go with it. Hey, and then that Ruination Worm I thought. And this is actually fun. This is the one Ruination Worm I want in the curve. So it's pretty much perfect timing for it to come in. And with the Gruul Key Rune, I'm a little more happy to have it and maybe get it out early. Here we will cut a Leyline Phantom over the Aerial Strike. None of this matters. So that's oh yeah, and we even got our naturalized sideboard, so that's pretty cool. Great, so I'll go ahead and pause it for a moment and come back after deck build to see just exactly where I'm at. Okay, so here's the basics of the Gruul deck we have. I think it's a very serviceable deck, but not overly powered. It's just got a decent curve, decent cards, all pretty average. So I think got to get a little lucky and have some good gameplay. Right here is a 23 card build I'm not set on. I'm looking at a couple of things. First thing to point out is you'll notice I still have the Miming Slime, so it's actually 17 creatures if you include Miming Slime. And I have it over here in the 5-drop slot because with such low powered 2-drops, I am not at all interested in casting this on turn 3 like I thought I might be doing with, like, say, some Gore Clan or what's it called? The 3/2 with Blood Rush. Gosh, I can't remember any names today. It could come down on 4 if, like, say, I've Blood Rushed or done something on a 2-drop or 3-drop, but we're probably looking at this at a 5-drop slot, which is fine for me. I still think it will do fairly well, and it'll help with the Denizens and anything that ends up getting somewhat pumped. And I like having the 17. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that are Blood Rush. These, could easily just become combat tricks. I'm really looking at, do I want to be playing the Gruul Key Rune, the Burst of Strength? Would I rather have this flyer? This might just be a sideboard against someone who has like a bunch of Salt Griffins or a Kingpin's Pet just for better blocking, even though I do have the 2 Croconuras. The Massive Raids, though I'm not happy to be playing 2, I think they're going to be necessary evils in the deck, and then these cards are, of course, pretty sweet. Yeah, I didn't need the Spire Tracer. I just have 1 Madcap Skills. It's not going to do a whole lot. I'm also thinking about this Bomber Core, which just doesn't do a bunch in the deck, but only having 4 2-drops gets me a little nervous, and this can kind of like hold off. This can be good, but I'll be looking at cutting this if I feel like in the matchup it just goes away. Yeah, I'm not really convinced. There's not many other cards to bring in, to be honest. It was very close on the playables here. And there's nothing here that I'd rather cut for, you know, one of these two cards at the moment. So that's pretty much the build. We'll just add in our lands. Let's check the colors. I think we're just going to do an even split, but why not double check? Yeah, even though we have a little more green, we do have these massive raids, which are going to be somewhat important in getting off early. Getting 9 and 9. Do I want 10 red and just 8? I think I would. I think we're going to go like this. And the only reason I'm doing it is because of the massive raids. I just found massive raids. It's already, you need to have like a couple of creatures out and the double red early enough to make them worthwhile. And making sure you can cast them is fine. And since with Stomping Grounds and 7 here, we're still playing 8 green, which is going to be more than enough for anything we're doing in the green zone. So just skewing it for the massive raid, and that should get us going. We're going to be starting here real soon with round 1.